Thanks for joining this new training, and it's kind of the month of prospecting. Don't you feel that the same? The client getting month March? At least I have that feeling today. It's the fourth time kind of that we discuss silent prospect, and there's a very good reason for that, because one of the things what came back is, hey Jack, I use a list, but only 10-20% were cell phones, and you don't want to lose those 80%, correct? You also want to prospect business owners who has a landline. And so we had to invent something and add something what you're really going to like. Are you guys ready to see the new module? And the new model, if you log in, is called Voice Broadcaster. Everybody see this? The Voice Broadcaster. So let me explain the difference. There's a significant difference. Voice drops delivers an audio message direct in somebody's mobile phone. They see, oh, I have a message, and if they like the message, they can place a return call, correct? They can call you back. So that's pretty advanced, correct? It's kind of you take off that cold call, and if you really want only happy customers, instead of you take the call, when they call back, you let them go to the voicemail, and if they say, hey, I got your call from you, I'm interested, then you call those back, so you kind of speak only with happy prospects. So there's a pretty unique voice printing system, but it works for mobile phones. So we created Voice Broadcaster. It kind of works the same, but now you can play an audio file and prospecting audio to landlines, and they pick up the phone and they hear the message, and they can decide press 1 to speak with a specialist or press 9 to hang up. Everybody got those calls, correct, in the past? So now the nice thing is that you first can use the list to leave a voice message, and then once you have used that list, you can use the voice broadcasting. Now there is some rules around voice broadcast. It's not allowed in every country, but you don't want to, if the message, as long as the message is not too much sales orientated. Let me give you an example. You are a past customer from a company, like an HVAC company. And the HVAC company don't want to put the time in to call all the past clients that their HVAC unit is due for a service. So you can leave a voice message, hey, we noticed that your AC unit is due for a service, press 1 to schedule a call now. Okay, that is more information than prospecting, correct? That is not hard sale of cold sale. So if you have a message for, hey, I noticed your Google My Business listing has a problem, then press 1 if you would like to help you to fix it. But if you say, hey, I'm a marketing company and I'm good in SEO, and your ranking is shit, please press 1 that to help you. You know, that doesn't that is too marketing oriented. So you have to kind of identify a problem and say, I can help you with that problem. So those type of calls are still okay, but not for the voice broadcast. You have to be a little bit careful that the message is not pure marketing. If you do pure marketing, it will not work anyway, correct? Business owners want help, want to make money, and if you identify a problem, they're happy to talk with you. Okay, now how does it work? It's kind of, you fill in the blanks. You click on add project and give the name. So let's give a webinar. And then you select a list. So you have upload a list. Let's say I call dentist. Now, very soon you will have here a checkbox that say exclude cell phones, because those already prospected with voice drops. So I personally prefer voice drops, but because it doesn't work with landlines, I need to have another system, is voice broadcaster, but I don't want to have two messages at the same time. So there will be checkbox that it will not prospect via voice broadcaster to cell phones. Okay, then if you want, have a link to the call portal, and then it will show the caller ID number, then your time zone. Now the beauty of this system is you can run it anytime. Now if you want to answer the call between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. is kind of the best time to prospect businesses. But there are also other options, and I'm going to review those options. So you can select a schedule which you have defined in the schedule, and you can enter a start date. And then you say, I want 100 calls per day. Now, let's put a minute, stop a minute, and say, who cannot fill out this part of the project? It's easy, correct? It's super easy. Everybody can do this part. Now, then you want to define the transfer mode. Okay? You want to say, I want them, if they call back, I want them to call this number. So somebody wants to receive a call, let me know if you want to do a test call. Otherwise, I will enter just a dummy number. But otherwise, we can do a real test. Okay, just enter your phone number and I will enter your phone number and then we run the call. Okay. So we have two volunteers. Let's start with one. And then you can choose the transfer digit. 1 and 9 are typical, but you can change them. And then press 1 to speak with Art. Okay. And then press 9 to hang up the call. Okay. Everybody can do this? How the transfer works? Now, you have two options. You have the option to transfer the call and then the call gets forwarded to an operator, to an agent. But you can also say, I don't want actually to speak with a prospect initially. I want, if they say press 1, I want to have them a message, hey, sorry, I couldn't take your call. Please leave your voice message and we will call you back as soon as possible. Now, you will hear on the voice message if that prospect is serious, and then you call them up, correct? So that is a nice filter to speak only with prospects who are serious. Everybody get this? You like it? Yes. So the transfer settings is simple, correct? Now then the broadcast message is play short voice broadcasting message, okay? Now you can have an audio which tells about your service, or you can have text to speech. Text to speech is of course not so good, but for this demo it's easy. Hi, this is ABC company, and we noticed that your HVAC unit needs a service soon. Okay, please book a visit with the operator. Okay. Then, so that is simple, or you just upload the audio. Okay. Now I will come back to the answering machine, and then you have greeting message. So of course audio is better, but let's do it quickly. So the audio message, thanks, please hold on, the Art will answer your call soon. Okay? Is it the wrong number, Art, what I just entered? We'll see. Now let's first save this, submit. And okay, Art gave me another number. Okay, I guess. Submit. Now we go back. And now you see, okay, now it's 2 times saved. Now you see what's the transfer number? Let's go back to 1580. Okay, so now if you go to action, there is a test call option. Okay, and we had another volunteer, and the test call goes to this number, and then say test call. You probably cannot, so Jimmy and Art has to kind of give feedback if they receive the call. So Jimmy got a call now to that number and will get forwarded to Art. And let me know if you guys got that. I know it's for you guys invisible, but did you get Jimmy, did the phone ring at your place? Art? Jimmy said yes. And what did you hear, Jimmy? Did you speak with, did you press 1 and speak with Art? Yes. Art, can you confirm too? No. I didn't get the call. Okay. Your phone on? Got nothing. Okay. So Art, what is your phone? Yeah. Oh, he got it. It's a Skype number. Okay, Skype number. Okay. Yeah, he got the call. So what I entered as text, did you more or less hear this? Why can't I see the screen? I don't know. You have to share. I don't know. Everybody can see the screen. Okay, so you see how easy it is to set up search call. And now when you do a test call, you can still make fine-tune the changes what you want. And then once you say, okay, this all sounds good, you just scheduled, huh? You just added the project, and then you say, I want to have it run today or tomorrow. Does it all make sense? Okay. Yeah, the office was closed because the Art had a Skype number, and that's why you had to leave a message. So it's pretty simple, correct? You just fill in the blanks. It cannot be simpler. It's all grouped in blocks. So there are some advanced settings you can do, advanced prospect. Are you guys ready for the advanced strategy? So the first what you can do when you have the list name, tomorrow or the day after, you will have exclude cell phones. Okay? You got exclude cell phones. Then you can prospect with voice drops. I kind of prefer voice drops. So but it doesn't work for landlines. Okay, so then you said down prospecting twice, then it works. Now, many of you, and that's not strange, don't like to answer every call. Okay? You can also select voice message. Now you don't need to enter the destination number. It will automatically go in a voice message. So not need, and then you listen to the voice message, and then you decide which you want to speak with. Okay? So it's pretty nice. Now then the broadcast messaging, of course audio is better than enter text, but with enter text you kind of can get a feeling of the script, of how the process works, and then you create the audio file, correct? Then you go to audio, and then you record a new audio with the text you just created. So the flow is already settled down. Guys get it? How simple of how all works together? Now, that's the broadcast message. Now, there's something unique. This code is for 80% accuracy, can determine if the prospect, if you call to an answering machine instead of a real prospect. So if you call at night, businesses are closed, correct? If you call at night, most businesses are closed. But you can leave a message, correct? So if the program detects, hey, that is an answering machine, then you don't say press 1, press 2, because an answering machine cannot do, But you can have a voice message like what you do with the voice drops. Hey, your AC unit needs a service, and please call us in the morning back to schedule a visit. You guys get it? How nice this is? So it kind of solves the problem that you speak not with an person, but with an answering machine. Well, it's kind of the same as voice drops. The accuracy to that he detect is not 100%, it's about 80%. Guys, see this strategy? It's optional, but if you send it out at night, the chance is higher that it hits an answering machine. And then you kind of have the same prospecting system as voice drops, but then for landlines. Does that make sense? It's not all laid out very logically. Everybody can do this. And together with the test call, you can test as many times you want that you have the flow go as you like and then go live. Okay? Now, what you guys think? Did you expect that when you jump on this training? Did you expect when you sign up for Silent Prospector and now you had a concern about only for cell phones, mobile phones, but there's an all solution for the landlines? You can use your complete list. You first kind of use it for voice drops, and then you use also the landlines with voice broadcaster. So you kind of use the complete list. Of course, it needs to get linked to the call portal because you need a tracking number. You make real calls. The advantage is you can also see how many responses you get. Okay, so this is your prospecting machine. You don't need to be a nerd to understand how this works. It's very laid out, simple, and if every time when I get feedback, hey Jack, how is this, how is that, I'm thinking why does he ask that question? So probably you see an update because and that it's even make it more simple. So are you now glad that you jump on Silent Prospector? So it's almost everything what you need, correct? The prospecting. If you don't like cold call but you need clients, this is your workhorse. Okay, you can have as many calls back as you like without placing by yourself calls. So many of you started the voice drops and there were all, let's say the list is 100 and you see only 10 success leads. So it had only 10 mobile numbers, and probably from those 10 only 3 return the call, so your conversion rate is 30%. So what we're going to introduce is when you define a campaign, but that is coming probably next week, when you enter a list, you go a mobile percentage rate. So if you say I want 100 voice drops per day, then if your mobile percentage is 30% of the list, we will take 300 numbers from that list and probably 30% will do the work, your target, to place 100 place 100 calls. Is this ready to use now? Kind of. You can use it now, but we still have ideas to make it smarter. So the system has to assume, if you place 100, a list of 100, the system has to assume that every attempt, every number in the list is a mobile phone. But if that's not the case, you get it back. Yeah, this is all custom coding, and it's all my IDs. So I'm pretty good at creating those IDs. So together with integration of the call portal, you know exactly what works, which match it works, how many calls you get back. Listen to the replay. That is your web-based prospecting system. Yes, Larry said, I need the column to see the connected call in one portal. Yes, you will. So now, I don't know, call ID, you can see view calls. You see that? If there were calls here. Then it's kind of hidden. So tomorrow or the day after, you will see, let's say, six calls. You can press on the plus sign and you see all the details of those calls. So that is coming. So Arlen said 100 calls use 100 calls use 100 credit, but unsuccessful drops get us back some of the credit. Yes. So the system, the voice drops, assume every number is mobile. And if you have a list of 100, it will reserve 100 credits. Okay? After the campaign is finished or paused and only 5 of those numbers were successful, you get 95 of those credits back. Okay? Now we're going to make this smarter by that you can enter a mobile rate percentage. That's coming. Okay? Yes, if you go to credits, there will be a complete log file. Okay, used, added, okay. So the contact list, if you go to the contact list, we will have an extra column for the list which numbers are mobile and which are landlines. How long does it take to credit back? Kind of, if at the moment the campaign is finished or you pause the campaign. So it's all instantly. Maybe an hour, but there's no manual work. Everything is automated. So you don't need to submit a support ticket to add credits. You don't need to submit a support ticket to upload a list. Okay, this is all custom made, very user friendly. Okay. Will you be adding an auto dialer to your system to call prospect as well? Yeah, we can do that. It's kind of, yeah, we can do this. It's kind of part of calls CAD, but I see also that you want to use it here. If you go to this list, and you can have here call place. Hey, I want to call it by myself, but it's not too hard to add it. The whole idea is that they call you, huh? That's the whole idea. But I can add kind of a button that you can call them. Mobile and landlines are two different campaigns. So you run it first as a voice drop, and once that is paused or finished, you run that list via voice broadcaster. Cannot run at the same time. First, the voice drop has to determine if a number is mobile or not. Okay, and I like kind of that strategy. I have a preference for voice drops. Okay, that is just so unique. I have so, and then you can run, because you want to use your land. You want also prospect business who has only a landline. Then you run the same list, but only who were not mobile. And then at that point you can decide if they answer your call by pressing 1, that say, oh, I want them to leave a voice message, or I want them to send them at night and to answering machines. Okay, the voice broadcaster works in many countries. So the voice drops works now in United States and in Canada, and in about, let's say, 30 days, it works in most countries in Europe, like United Kingdom, and in Australia in about 30 days. Gerd said, I had something like this years ago, but not this good, and I made a fortune with it. Yes. Michael, if I want to try to get leads for a roofer, how would you know who to send the message to? Or you use Lead Finder Jack or New Biz Prospector. So, so you can collect leads numbers from businesses simple with Lead Finder Jack and with New Biz Prospector. You just export the list inside Silent Prospector and the list is done. So that is super simple. Many of you have collected so many leads and say, hey Jack, I don't get so much response from emailing. Okay, so that is another prospecting method. You have already collected all those lists. Now there's another prospecting method. Instead of sending me an email, now you can place a voice drop, or you can have a voice broadcaster campaign. Does that make sense? And there's a lot of protection here built in, that you don't get overwhelmed with too many calls at once. So that is why we have worked on how many calls you want per day, and not if you have a list from 1,000 or 10,000 or 30,000, you can schedule that, but you need to approve that. Okay, so if you say I'm learning, I just want let's say 100 calls per day, and I get 10 return calls, that is enough for me. That is fine. And if you scatter that every day, you have a nice stream of new prospects, and you can run it kind of every day. That is not, Jack, how do we add multiple lists in one campaign? That is not implemented yet. I never had that question. Maybe what we can make in a contact list, that you can create a new contact list based on others. So that you create a new contact list, and that is created by smaller contact lists, and you maybe can delete those smaller contact lists. Yeah, I split the HV list into group of 100, yes. So, and I don't know, Patrick, if you know if those 100 are all mobile. Mixed. So Patrick had a reason why he sent out only 100 voice drops, or maybe 50, because the company who serve those HVAC units, they don't want 500 calls a day. Okay, they cannot serve that many responses. So if he does 50 prospects per day, and I don't know, maybe get 10% return of, he get five extra customers, that is what they can handle. They don't want more. You get 200 per day, 3 days a week. So that is what the company is able to handle. So voice drops goes to mobile numbers. Voice broadcaster goes to landlines. Now you can use your complete list. So what happens if voice drops voice drops calls a landline? It will not, before it calls, it detects if that number is a landline or cell phone. So it kind of will not execute. It's kind of a failed attempt, and you don't get charged for it. But it will mark that number as a landline, and now with voice broadcaster you can use that information, say, hey, I want to leave a message, or I want to call that landline number. So now I feel the circle is round. You got it? The circle is round. You can use cell phone numbers and you can use landline numbers. It will ring on a landline, but if you don't like that, then use the strategy to send it during the night, and that it detects that an answering machine. Okay, so now you don't need to speak with an operator, and they can call you back at your will. So you can call them back to a tracking number, but that doesn't, the call CED is already in tracking number, so they call back automatically to a tracking number. Now the question is, at that point, what would you like to do? Do you want to speak with the prospect, or do you want them to leave a message? So it depends how you you want to prospect. Okay, and maybe in the beginning you are not so comfortable after you did some experience, so that all makes sense. That is, start slow, get used to the process, get some clients, and you get all fired up. Okay. My question about Facebook. Yeah, let me see if I can get that art for you. Have just sent an supporting so I can look up your credit history. Cannot answer on the call, on the training. Or that would help me if you repeat the question. I think I found one now. Let's see if Art can find Art, it would help me if you repeat the question. Building our brand in a Facebook or page or group for digital sales. Brand. That is kind of how I see it. If you are McDonald's, Subway, like a top 500 company, you care about branding, correct? Do you as a one-person company really care about branding? Other words, if you were shopping in a mall and your company is called Arts the Best, and you would ask 100 people, how many of them would know Arts the Best company? Even when you spend a fortune on Facebook. So I don't believe so much in branding for small companies. I believe more in direct sales. So that is why I'm a big advocate of AdWords. And so you get kind of, you know, how much you spend for a click, and you can kind of calculate and determine the ROI, and that is how you sign up clients for yourself or for your business. Instead of doing the SEO stuff and the YouTube stuff, which is more related to branding, but they are not so much in direct sales. So I think you want, as small company, you want to have a nice company website, which if they look it up, you look professional. You want to have a Facebook presence, and you want to avoid that you have bad reviews. Okay, next. Do we need to use both PayPal buttons and Netizzen Bank, or one of the other? Only Netizzen Bank. You only want to use Netizzen Bank. That is by far the best. Now you are in control. You have all the information from the client. You can set up easily recurring payment. If they fail with payment, you can send to your payment reminders. You can even add other servers, so you are so much in control about the billing from that client. Yeah, Art said, could you review our reputation management product? Is it a money market? Yeah, I haven't done a product creation around reputation. I think reputation is important. I might create a product. I have planned the product for that, but it's not finished yet. But that's coming. Okay, I think reputation, getting reviews is important for companies. Okay, so so you can monitor certain important business directories. Google Maps is by far the most important, where you want to have good reviews. So if you learn to dance with Google, you have a long-term sustainable business. You guys understand what I'm saying? I get once in a while in support ticket, hey Jack, SEO did ... They always have problems. And I guarantee that learning AdWords is not as hard as learning good SEO. Okay, can we still make a good case for having Google My Business for niches that don't have a six-pack of Google? Yes, 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 yes. It is so important to have a good listing on Google My Business. If you are in the top 3, let's say it's not that easy, but you don't need to pay for the clicks. If the client doesn't need to pay for the clicks, people like those stars at Google My Business, and you kind of only compete with 3 companies in the same city, and that city can be 100,000 people, correct? So the long-term situation will be that a company has to pay for those positions. At some point, Google My Business becomes part of AdWords. It's so clear, sooner or later Google My Business becomes part of AdWords. So if you are a local marketer, you want to learn Google AdWords management. That is, it pays over and over again. I think I say that now almost every call, but it's true. But some niches don't display on Google My Business, right? I think most niches do, but not all the keywords which you expect. All the niches, all the local TeamJack niches, they have a Google My Business listing. Did you just hear what I say? So that is a very nice keyword list. Not sure what you just mean. Yeah, now you pay attention. Huh? So you probably wonder, Jack, why in the heck did you create those 260 or 270 niches? Huh? How are you doing that? Where do you determine that on, correct? You never wonder that? Hey Jack, how do you come on those niches? What do you determine if it is a good niche or not? You never wondered that? You know how I do that? I go with the keyword to Google AdWords, to the AdWords planner, and see how many searches there are for. And if there is a niche that has a few search, I said there's almost no interest in that niche, correct? And then I said, okay, this niche has quite a bit of searches, so then I'm going to find the keyword what has the most searches for that niche, and that becomes the name. That becomes the name of that niche. Okay, does that make sense? Now we kind of learn the secret. So, and the V means video. Oh, there are about 60 videos, V's now, and this week or maybe next week, depending how busy I am, I'm going to release 60 more videos. Wow. So if you don't have Local Team Jack Enterprise, this is the moment to step in, because you get access to those enterprise videos. Okay, does that make sense? I think we're jumping around a little bit. I think you get an information overload. So let's go back. Use voice drops to prospect to for mobile phones, okay? Then the list will get marked which numbers are mobile and which numbers are landlines. Then you want to use Voice Broadcaster to use the same list and leave and start a voice broadcaster campaign. And then there are some settings which you can do to say, okay, I want to leave a voice message only, so I listen to the voice message, or I'm happy to take as many calls as I can. And or you can go out to an HVAC company, to a plumber company, to a hairdresser, or whatever company who has recurring clients, and you can come up with, hey, it's now 3 months since last time you came in. It's time for another visit. Does that make sense? So one more question for Will. How often do you want to list on the first page? Two is better than one, 3 is better than 2. As many as you can. And I don't care if you have to pay. You want them to find you. Okay, so hope you enjoy this training as I did. Silent Prospector is made to make it easy for you to find clients, to automate it, to drip feed it, so you are not getting overwhelmed. But if you are on my call, what did I said always? How many percentage of your time you need to spend on getting clients? Anybody remember that? How much of your time you need to spend to sign up clients, to prospect clients? 30%, correct? No, 30%. 30% of your time you want to spend So of your time you want to spend on prospecting. And with Silent Prospector, this has become so much more easier because many of you, and I also, don't like to cold call. You only want to speak with prospects who are serious. Okay, and with that, I really appreciate your guys' time and hope you start to put it in practice, get your feet wet, link it to the call portal, get find out which audio message works the best, speak with prospects, and try to sign up for your service. And thank you so much, and see you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. EST. Have a good night.